So how does this concept of freedom reach us? Any idea, anybody? In the modern sense, what we understand that everybody is equal. See, normally your traditional societies will tell you that this has been present in our society 1000 years back, 5000 years back, or 10,000 years back. But in reality, the concept of liberty, where human beings are equal, actually is a modern concept which has been given like philosophers like James Mill, John Locke, and Kant, and many other philosophers which have given. I have written a book called History of Political Thought. I'm sure some of you would have studied. I would suggest to study this book. And this gives the political philosophy right from Socrates to Marx. It's a very good book which will open your mind. These people gave the concept of what is today known as a concept of freedom. Of course, their individual events were earlier also there, where everybody was told to be equal. And Socrates' time also, there are mentions that everybody is equal. Next. So freedom of speech has been expressed in Indian Constitution like this. This is only for you to understand from the academic perspective. It's a freedom of speech and expression, assembling peacefully, form association, move freely. Basically, your ability to speak what you want to speak, express, listen together, and do whatever you want to do. Next. Paradox is something which is different, which is not existing. So freedom paradox is when in reality you see the freedom, but it actually does not exist. So that's it, the freedom paradox. Now stop it. Can we say that freedom paradox when we feel reality free, but we are actually not free? Some of you would have heard this sentence by Jean-Jacques Rousseau: man is born free, but everywhere he is in the chains. This is a very famous sentence which has lived with me. So we'll discuss this with an examples. Now you will move only one line with one discussion. Okay, the only one line. Then. So sometimes back you would have heard burning of a religious book in Western countries. Have you heard it? So that's a part of his freedom of expression. How many of you thought it is okay? Or it is not okay? It's not okay, obviously. Some of you feel it's not okay. So as a part of freedom of expression, that country feels that burning a religious book is okay. But a large amount of crowd in India will feel actually it is not okay. So there is a freedom paradox. Somebody feels there is a freedom, somebody feels there is no freedom. Next. Speaking negative things about different communities. This is regularly we hear. And I will not take Indian example, I will always take the foreign example, not to touch the sensitivity of the people here. In France, somebody made cartoons. People felt very bad about it. For somebody, cartoon making is something very, very normal. They make cartoon about the Jesus also. But this created a huge amount of uproar in many society. Actually, some people died in Afghanistan against these cartoons. So somebody as a part of freedom expression feels making cartoon is nothing, but somebody feels how you can make a cartoon about it, and people are getting killed 5,000 kilometers or 10,000 kilometers away on that. Next. Dress. Dress is very interesting aspect actually. The dressing range from the people from wearing what we call a liberating clothes to the burqa completely. In a country like Afghanistan, if you don't wear burqa, you could be in a problem. But wearing the same burqa in a country like France could put you in a problem. Dress is the same thing basically. The person is the same thing, there's no difference. The only thing is at some point of time, at some point of people are feeling that you should cover enough. Somebody feel you should not cover enough. So there is no freedom for the people either living in Afghanistan or people living in France. I am giving the extreme example of both the countries for you to understand the perspective, how there is a control on the people, not live them freely. Next. Freedom to eat. This is also very interesting actually. So you've got people like who are purely vegetarians. They don't eat, vegans you can call. They don't take even dairy. They don't take the milk also. Next. Same thing applies to drink also. Drinking of the liquor in some societies is considered as a part of celebration like champagne, maybe holy water or surah, or in many societies, it is either normal or part of celebration. But in some country, drinking liquor could put you in a severe trouble actually. But who is creating this problem for us? What is creating this situation that we are not able to tolerate other person? We ourselves. And there is a deep thought in us behind these actions actually, and that will come in the next one. Please take next. This is only indicative actually, but we'll discuss about. 5 minutes after your birth, they decide your name, nationality and religion, and you spend the rest of your life defending something you did not even choose. That's the problem. Ultimate problem is this only. All of us are doing what has been told to us by our parents. It is not right or wrong. There is nothing right or wrong. Next. This is a dichotomy के ऊपर मैंने एक दो लाइन सेलेक्ट किया है. How this is creating a problem? ये क्या कि सूरज पे घर बनाना और उस पे छांव तलाश करना, खड़े भी होना दलदलों पर, फिर अपने पांव तलाश करना, निकल के शहरों में आ भी जाना, चमकते ख्वाबों को साथ लेकर, बुलंद बाला इमारतों में फिर अपने गांव तलाश करना. So are basically, searching for a shimra. We want everything. We are basically want freedom also, but we don't want other people to be freedom also. We want to control other people's action. So my freedom is freedom, other person's freedom is my hurt. And that is the bottom line. Next. So basically reason is our inability of tolerance of different and exactly opposite opinion. That is a fundamental thing. We have to understand it. The all problem in our freedom lies because we do not want other person to say what we don't like. So a burning of a person, there could have been two situations. When the person was burning a religious book, either the people who were seeing this, they should not have been bothered, let him burn the book. Why I am bothered? Tell you next. And some of you would know it actually more than me, that first change in the Indian Constitution came which placed the restrictions on the individual liberties. And those were the restrictions. And they are perfectly all right. These are the things which have kept Indian societies united for about more than 75 years. If these controls were probably not there, we would have been fighting much more than what we are doing today. Hard work ke bina hoga nahi. Let me tell you, there is nothing called smart work. Hard work will be required. Let me tell you. And I will now start quoting my own examples also. I have studied up to class 3 in Urdu medium, 3 to 12th in Hindi medium, and 12th onwards I studied in English medium actually. So when I went to MU in 1984, one day one of my senior, he quoted me, "Arey tum har waqt padhte hi rehte ho, 18 घंटे पढ़ते हो." So that day I realized that actually I was reading more. Otherwise I was not even knowing that I was reading more. Because I was getting a lot of passion into it. Thereafter I came to Delhi University for preparation of civil services, and there I met a lot of my friends from Bihar. They study even more than me actually. And they had a very good technique actually. They will put supari and some tobacco in their mouth, and for 3 hours they were gone actually in studying this thing. And large number of them became actually civil servants. I don't know what was the connection between the two. So hard work is necessary, but smart work is also equally necessary, and probably a combination of two is necessary. So both these things will be required for you also. See, there is no shortcut for hard work. Under any condition, at one point of time you will be required to do. See, India is a country which actually goes by degrees and institutions. It doesn't believe in the real time. Like recently Elon Musk announced a vacancy without qualification. We go by qualification. So the better time it is there. If you go into any IIT, IIM, you get the placement for next. So collaborate, work in the teams. Basically you need to work in the teams, and you have to aim high. Prepare for civil services, at least bottom line somewhere you will get. But if you prepare for staff selection commission, you might end up at very low level. Next. Okay. Now the question is whether it is any whether the correlation between the academic performance and the on-the-job performance. We have got a data on that actually. Go fast. We need to move fast. I've got another 2 minutes. So these are the 3 years data. These are the 3 years data. Just one second. If you see, these are the toppers, and this is a top performers. In toppers also 16%, in middle level also 15%, in the bottom level also 16%. So we did not find any academic correlation between the academic performance and the work performance. So there is a good news and there is a bad news. Good news is if you are not good today, you could perform in corporate world and go high. Bad news is if you are good today, may not necessarily be good in the corporate world. Next. So hard work will be required in your corporate world also. there are two things now which will be required additional. One is passion, another is sincerity. In the organization, you should not only be working, but you should be seen to be working. Your people should be realizing that this man is too much into working kind of a thing. Chaliye next. So that graph represents the journey of your life. When your parents say school pass कर लो मजा आ जाएगा, but 12th में दे से 12th कर लो, फिर engineering कर लो, MB कर लो, but life is never end. When you reach here, na, this will again be there, and after you reach there will be another journey. Next. So Munir has written very good line. एक और दरिया का सामना था मुनीर मुझको, मैंने ये एक दरिया को पार करके है मैंने जाना. So these journeys will continue, friends. You will never be able to take rest. The struggle will continue. Thank you very much.